Hello friends, welcome to the Strategic Sourcing Insight. I am a professional with more than 25 years of experience in strategic sourcing and procurement. Today's topic is stop overpaying, master the should be costing. Should be costing is a structured approach to estimate what a product or a service should cost based on a detailed understanding of its cost driver. Instead of relying only on supplier quotes, you build an independent cost estimate using engineering, marketing data, and cost model. This slide explains the concept of should be costing at a high level. It's about shifting the power balance in procurement. Instead of accepting a supplier's pricing at a face value, we analyze what should be paid based on real cost drivers. It supports smarter negotiation and overall sourcing strategy. So here, why it matters should be costing. Generally, supplier often have a information asymmetry. They know true cost, buyer do not. Supplier quotes can include inefficiencies, excessive profit, or a hidden cost. So, should be costing empowers buyers to challenge suppliers' pricing credibly, negotiate better deals, benchmark supplier performance, and identify cost reduction opportunity. So here we will discuss about what is strategic benefit of should be costing. The point wise we will discuss is cost transparency is in supply chain should be costing that brings in detail, supports fact based negotiations instead of guesswork, enables design to cost and value engineering, strengthen sourcing strategy for high impact categories, reduces total cost of ownership, that is TCO, over time. So the point is, should be costing is not a cost analysis tool. It's a strategic capability that transforms procurement from price taking to value driving. On this slide, we are highlighting where should be costing delivers value. It's not only for negotiations, it's strategic across the entire sourcing and product life cycle. It helps us make better design decision, benchmark cost, plan budget accurately, and drive supplier collaboration for sustainable cost saving. So these are 3 points which we have discussed in this slide. Here we shall discuss when to use should be costing. So key use in procurement is one is make versus buy decisions. So here we understand true internal versus external cost in design. Second is cost reduction initiatives. So where here should be costing shows us high cost drivers where we can take action on cost reduction. And second is collaboration with supplier for saving. Now we will discuss what are the strategic applications of should be costing in procurement. So first is budget planning, where it improves the accuracy of cost forecast. Second is supplier development, helps supplier identify and reduce inefficiencies. Third is design to cost, ensure product meet cost and the targets without sacrificing quality. This slide walks through the structured should be costing process. Each step build on the previous one, from scoping and data collection to model building and negotiation. The goal is to empower procurement with a robust fact-based cost estimate, that improves negotiation outcomes and sourcing strategy. So here we generally identify key cost drivers. That is, one is material, labor and machine time, local labors and machine rates, industry benchmarks and supplier input. And second is the build the cost model, bottom up calculation detailed in line items, and then parametric model using formula, weight and complexities. So here we will discuss structured process for should be costing. So one is validate and refine. That means cross check with supplier quotes, adjust assumptions for realism. Second point is determine the should be cost, final cost estimate or range. Then highlight high cost drivers. Third is apply in negotiation and strategy, that use model in supplier discussion, support sourcing decisions and cost reduction project. So here this slide emphasized the importance of breaking costs down into their components by understanding how much of the price is material, labor, overhead and so on. We can identify the biggest driver of cost. This informs our negotiation strategy and highlights opportunity for cost saving with supplier. So here a typical cost breakdown structure is shown. A clear cost breakdown is a foundation for effective should be costing. It reveals where costs come from and where you can act to reduce them. In a typical manufacturing component at a manufacturing company, generally material is around 40 to 50%, labor is around 10 to 20%, machine processing 15 to 25%, overhead 10 to 15%, profit margin generally 5 to 10%, and logistic packing comes around 5 to 10%. So here it shows where we are spending at highest level, that is material and labor. So our main focus should be on material, labor and processing. So what is the purpose of cost breakdown? So purpose is mainly identify main cost driver, as we discuss material, labor and process. Focus on areas with highest saving potential. Support fact-based supplier discussion and improve cost transparency. Here this slide shows an example of a should be costing model for a machine bracket. Notice how we break down each element: material, labor, finishing and overhead. This approach makes cost transparent and supports strong negotiation. If a supplier quotes $50 for our model, shows $34, we have clear defendable reason to negotiate for better pricing. Here we will discuss about source of cost data. Reliable should be costing depends on solid defendable data, better data, strong negotiation and better sourcing decisions. So why data matters? Accurate cost data is a backbone of reliable should be cost model, ensures realistic credible estimates and support fact-based negotiation with supplier. So source of cost data should be reliable. Here we will discuss different element of from where to get our source of cost data. One is material prices. So here it shows commodity indices. That means steel, plastic and electronics. We get reference from many journals. And second is supplier price lists, market intelligence reports. This is for material. Then labor rate, from where you can get it is regional wage data that is available everywhere. Industry average labor cost that is also available, and government or trade association sources. So these three always available for us for the reference. So in continuation with source of cost data, third one is machine process rates. So machine hour cost, that is depreciation, energy and maintenance, is should be available with us. Typical process time for operation is also a part of calculation. Supplier or internal production data, this also should be available with us. Fourth one is overhead and profit benchmarks. So we have a reference of industry standard overhead rates, typical supplier margin ranges, that is also can be discussed or also available right from 5%, 10% and so on. And then benchmarking studies, which we have to collect from our either our competitors or available sources. So in continuation with the source of cost data, next one is the logistics and packaging cost. So we should know freight rates by region and mode. Mode, that means transport of modes, and region from where to where, whether it is imported or local, and by which mode this material is coming. And then packaging material prices also available in journals, data, and available on online. So we should know and what are our packaging strategy, whether it's a wood, cardboard, metal, so that defines the cost of packaging. Third one is a custom tariff cost if it is available on the material. Fourth one, maybe second one in this slide, is supplier input and quotes. So we should have a historical quote and pricing of that supplier. Generally we keep in our data. Supplier cost breakdowns wherever it is available, because everywhere breakdown is not possible. And then supplier development program. So in generally source of data, using multiple sources is also possible for us, is triangulate data from several sources for accuracy, validate assumptions with market trend and supplier feedback, and then maintain an internal cost database for ongoing use, which we discussed earlier. So we will discuss about application in negotiation of should be costing. So here the should be costing turns negotiation into battle over price into conversation about cost. So leading to a better outcome for both parties. So this is very important for data and application of should be costing. Why use should be costing in negotiation? This is a question mark. So this helps us by move from price reactive to price proactive, reduce information asymmetry with suppliers, build confidence in challenging supplier quotes, and support fact-based collaborative discussion. Here we will discuss about how to use should be costing in negotiations. So point number one is prepare thoroughly, that we must be prepared. So point number one is understand your detailed cost model before discussion, anticipate supplier pushback, prepare supporting data and benchmark. Point number two is share selectively. Share high level or component cost expectation, not every detail. Focus on cost drivers, that is material, labor and etc. Encourage transparency without revealing our internal strategy. So in continuation, point number three says challenge constructively. That means highlight differences between supplier quote and should be cost. Ask supplier to justify gaps. Use data to identify inefficiencies or high cost drivers. Point number 4 is collaborate for saving. Work with supplier on process improvement. Offer volume commitments in exchange for cost reduction, and build long-term partnership based on transparency. So, what are the benefits of should be costing? Uh, should be costing is more than a negotiation tool. It's a strategy enabler for cost leadership, supplier partnership, and sustainable saving. So here it comes with one is cost transparency. Break down supplier pricing into clear, understandable components. Reduce the information asymmetry between buyer and supplier. Second point is stronger negotiation power. This means supports fact-based discussion, equip buyer to challenge supplier quotes confidently, shift focus from price haggling to cost understanding. So these are the benefit of should be costing. So in continuation to benefits of should be costing is next point is identifies cost saving opportunities. So here pinpoints major cost drivers, material processing, etc. Highlights area for process improvement, enables design to cost initiative. Then supports strategic sourcing, improves supplier selection with realistic cost expectation, strengthen sourcing strategy for high value categories, reduces risk of overpaying. So here this slide wraps up session. The goal is to embed should be costing into how we do sourcing, not as one-off project, but as a continuous capability. Start with a pilot, invest in team training, maintain good data, make a part of our sourcing strategy. That's how we drive long-term sustainable cost leadership. Why it matters: moves negotiation from adversarial price haggling to data-driven discussion, identifies true cost driver and improvement opportunity, enhances long-term supplier partnership and competitiveness. Here we have depicted one case study. Here one of the automotive component cost reduction background. So one of the global automotive OEM was sourcing a precision machine bracket. Supplier quoted price as $50 per unit and volume was around 100,000 units per year. So what was the approach? Approach was team built a should be costing model, and then breakup is given right from material, machining, plating, overhead profit, and total model cost around $33.6 per unit. The outcome is fact-based negotiation with supplier. Supplier reduced price to $38, which he was asking around $50, and saving of $12 per unit into 100,000 units. This comes out to be $1.2 million per year. Supplier also invested in process efficiency to reduce machining time further. So thank you very much. Looking for your feedback. Thanks.